Gloves Off is always on point. On point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by the best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off. If you've ever wondered, if you ever had a clue what would happen if Batman, the Avengers, the X-Men fought the 47 Ronin, you will have great hitting, power strikes, and speed. This event will be known as the North Texas Stick Fighting Championships. It's open to all martial artists. This is where legends are formed, where they're forged, where they are founded. Sign up now. Call the number 956-401-4868 and look up the website at www.savate.biz. So remember, this is for serious martial artists. If you're not serious, sit back and whisper about the event. If not, we'll see you there.
Back at you in Gloves Off, and today I have a great friend, great peace officer, Constable Harold Devally. How we doing, Harold?
Doing good, Paul. How about yourself, buddy?
Good. How's everything?
Good. Can't complain.
I got a couple of questions, but the main question is, how are you enjoying being constable of the precinct?
I enjoy it. What I get the most out of this is be able to give back to the community, to work with the people out there in my precinct to see what it is that they need and provide it with them.
What have you seen? We grew up together. We grew up here in Laredo. What have you seen that has changed since we grew up to now? And you said, you know what? When I became a peace officer, what was it, 30 years ago?
Yeah, about 33 years.
And going to now, and this has changed, and I have to adapt. What have you?
Well, there's a lot of things that have changed, but one of the things that I noticed the most here in Laredo that has changed is the population. I mean, it's grown leaps and bounds, and what you see, on the north side and in the main arteries is the traffic. Man, the traffic is so heavy. I mean, we're getting to be where we have traffic hour now, Yeah, everybody does that traffic hour in Laredo. Yeah, we got traffic hour now in Laredo, but that's one of the things that I noticed a lot that's changed in Laredo. I remember when I was in high school and I'd drive from high school home, man, it'd only take 5 minutes to get there. Now you're looking at, a 20-minute drive, 25-minute drive,
So. Absolutely correct. The traffic has changed. There's a lot more people here.
A lot more subdivisions, a lot more houses, a lot more people coming in from out of town and so forth. But yeah, we have a lot of things that have changed from when we were kids.
Absolutely. When I moved back, I didn't know Laredo had south sides, and we did, but they have neighborhoods that you get lost in. And the north now is doing the same thing.
Well, remember when we were in school, it was really Nixon, United, and Martin.
And that's it.
See,
that road came of age.
Yeah, it came down the line, but when we were there, that's all that was around. I mean, yeah, you had San Agustin, but the main high schools were those three, and now I don't there's not three anymore. There's like 6, 7 high schools, maybe.
Absolutely. McPherson, parts of it were dirt roads.
Remember? Yeah. I mean, there was
Del Mar.
When we were going to high school, there was no McPherson. I mean, Del Mar ended right there, and the rest was just ranch.
Absolutely. Things have changed. How about crime? Has that changed a little bit? What have you seen the difference?
I mean, one thing that we need to understand, and everything's of course done by statistical data, but one of the things that we need to understand here in Laredo, as the population goes up, you're going to have crime. And whether it's more auto theft or whether it's more theft, whether it's more burglaries or what it be, you're going to have it because it's a growing city, and with a growing city comes those pains.
Absolutely. What do we see in the north side?
What was it?
What kind of crimes do you see in the north side?
You got a lot of more theft that goes out there. You got a lot of theft and a lot of burglaries. But what I try to do with my office is provide the deputies to be out there driving around so that they can be seen, through the subdivisions. And I've told them, every time that they're out, whether they're working the civil process or if they don't have civil process, they go out and patrol, to drive around in these subdivisions and look around and look for things that may be out of the ordinary, and there ain't nothing wrong with stopping and checking them out. But that's one of the things that I try to do now with this office, is provide that extra noticeability out there of law enforcement being out there, along with PD. And PD does a great job. I mean, they got a bulk of calls. They really do get a lot of calls, and I know that sometimes it gets hard when they say, "Oh, we're waiting." I mean, if anybody would have the opportunity to go out and just listen to the radio of the traffic that PD has, it can get pretty hectic and heavy, and they have a system where they prioritize. So what I try to do is help out a little bit and have these units available for the constituents over here in Precinct 4, whether they want to make a report or they need something to be taken care of, or they're worried about this or worried about that. We try to provide that for them.
Absolutely. We have a great first responders, all of you.
Thank you.
And throughout the board, they're A1, okay? Something happens, everybody's there and everybody's helping. And that's what I've seen now different than years ago.
Right.
Now it's a little bit more, you know what, we're gonna help each other. And you see that across the board here in Webb County.
And one of the things that I said when I ran for this office and I won the office is that I'm making this office available to all law enforcement, agencies, state, federal, local, whatever it is that will be there to help out and give them any support that they need. And that's what one of the things that I said I've done, and I feel really, really good that we've done that.
Absolutely. What else would you say that is needed for the community to focus on? Because it's a balance. We have a police officer and we also have the community. We can have both.
Right.
And what does a community
Well, the community that's going out there a lot that we're hearing, especially with all these terrible mass shootings that are going on, what we need and what the community can do to help is of course when they see something, report it. If you see something out of it, report it. If you feel that that's in it, report it. There ain't nothing wrong. There ain't nothing wrong with reporting something that they feel may be a concern or may hurt the community in any way. We'll go out there and check it, regardless whether it's one that they called and it turned out to be nothing. That's okay. But maybe one that you call and it turns out to be something we're able to stop it before it happens. So I think the community role would be out there to be more observant. They see something, don't be afraid to let us know.
We had an incident like that you all were part of, which was last week. We have one of the high schools that
social media. Yeah.
Social media, and everybody acted on it quickly, and they found out.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, kudos goes out to the United Independent School District police officers.
Absolutely.
They saw that. They took action right away. They didn't wait, and the UISD Police Department did a great job by going out there, talking to the individual, talking to the parents, searching the house, looking for the house, and looking for things in the house that if he had any weapons or anything like that would be a concern for him to carry out what the threat was on social media. But UISD PD did a very good job. Yes, they contacted my office, and I know the Laredo Police Department, and we had deputies out there at the school helping out the UISD Police Department, and we just thank the good Lord that nothing came out of it, and everything was secured, and all the students were safe, and the ones that did attend school were safe and completed the day of school. And they're very vigilant on that, and we're going to continue to be. Any school that has a problem or a situation, we get the call, we're going to help them. We're going to be out there, we're going to assist them in whatever way that we can.
And that's the way it should be. That's what I mean by community. And we as parents, we as a community, when we start seeing something that's troubling, we have to report it. We can't just disallow it, because disallowing it can come into a different action.
Right.
And you guys, kids out there, because I know there's a lot of young adults and teens that look at social media and sometimes fumble over the shows and put a couple of likes. it's okay to say, you know what, little Billy over there is acting kind of weird and drawing a couple of things and saying, you know what, I'm gonna go beat up my girlfriend, knife her, or what have you, or the ex, or what have you. It's okay for you to stand up and raise your hand, or, you know what, let me go talk to the counselor and say, you know what, we have a little problem, or I'm afraid of this. It's okay for us to say, you know what,
Yeah, I mean,
it's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah,
That we have
that
to-
little getting up and just going and reporting it or saying something to somebody, you know, law enforcement, teacher, administrator, whoever it may be, that little report there may just have deterred a bad situation that could have turned really, really bad.
Absolutely, you know, because sometimes we're told nowadays, oh, don't say something, let them go, it's okay, and we let these things go, and all of a sudden we have them mishap.
Yeah, correct.
And that's just the way it is. And well, we're glad that nothing happened.
Yeah,
we're glad
we're-
that God is
yeah.
watching over everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir.
changing off the horrific acts. So those are horrific acts. But what do you see in the near future with safety wise here in our community? Basically?
Well, I mean, we're going to provide every safety we possibly can from this office for the community out there. That's what we're there for. And I know that the Laredo Police Department will, the Webb County Sheriff's Office will, and so will the both school districts, police officers, UISD and LISD, and so will the constable's office. And I know that all the other constables, we get together and we talk and we discuss and we're there for each other. So one of the big things for the community to know is that law enforcement and federal agencies, we're united. We're united, we're one, and we come together when we need to stop all this bad evil that goes out in our communities. So that's what we're there for.
Absolutely, absolutely. How about traffic? We have a lot of young drivers out there. We have a lot of, what would you tell them to?
Well, I mean, look, there's just one thing that we need to understand with the traffic the way it is right now, especially with our young drivers. You know, one of the biggest problems that we have right now is our attention span. And when we're driving, whether we're young or whether we're old, and including myself and everybody else, we need to pay attention to what we're doing. A distracted driver is what usually causes a lot of the accidents that happen, because we get distracted. And one of the biggest things that we have now that we did not have when we were growing up, of course, is the cell phone. So, you know, that cell phone can be really distractive. I just urge drivers to pay attention to what they're doing till they from A to B, and when they go from B to C back home. Pay attention to what you're doing, and you see it a lot. We see it a lot. You know, there's people that stop at a stoplight, and they figure when they're stopped at a stoplight, you know, they're checking their emails or they're checking their texts to see who's texted them or whatever missed calls they have, and they're not realizing that the light turns green. So the one behind them is getting upset because they need to get to point B, you know, at a certain time. So, you know, that being as it may, we need to be a little bit more attentive to what we're doing and how we're doing and how we're driving. We got to pay attention. There's a lot of distractions out there.
Oh, absolutely. And we didn't have cell phones.
No,
thank
we
God.
didn't.
But we grew up in a different era. You know, we were just a notch right after smoke signals. You know, but it's hard. We do see them. Everybody does that. You know, I don't know how come there's not an application that as soon as you get in your car, it turns the phone off automatically or the text automatically.
Yeah.
You know, but
I don't know. That's a good idea there. And I was always wondering, you know, when that was probably going to come in the future, where one of the it's a little so-called thing that you can put in it. I guess you can call them a jammer. In the cars that run, once you get into the car, the cell phone doesn't work. You know, it turns off automatically, and then when you get out, everything will come in what you missed. You know, but I know, and some people say, well, you know, we don't really need that, and well, no, I need to get my calls right now. But you know, what we miss is you know, what about the families that have lost loved ones in accidents because of that? You know, and we're lucky that we're not in that statistics, you know?
Yeah.
You know, exactly. So, you know, is it a good thing? I think it is. You know, I like to be on my phone too and all that, but I don't want to be a statistic, nor do I want my kids to be statistics. As I don't want you or the people that are out there driving, whether it's precinct 4, precinct 1, 2, or 3, the whole community, I want them to be safe. I mean, it's important for us to understand that we need to pay attention to driving, and we don't want to hurt someone other's family because of the stupidity of not paying attention of driving. That's a motor vehicle. That's a 1 or 2 ton vehicle that's driving at a velocity. Don't understand that the impact is somebody's going to get hurt or killed. And that's what we need to understand.
No, you're absolutely correct. And you see that we had bad drivers when we were growing up.
Yes.
Okay, the bad drivers are still here now.
Yes.
So now we just added a cell phone to their hands.
Yeah.
You know, so guess what? You need to drive defensively more so now than ever.
I will tell you right now that when I get into the car, yeah, I'm an offensive driver, but I'm more a defensive driver.
Exactly.
So when I'm driving, I'm always looking. I'll give you an example. Loop 20. You know, I'm driving down Loop 20, and even though there's a median there, a curve, and they block, but the car can still jump that. I'm always looking down the left lane. You know, the traffic that's coming towards you. I'm always looking down that way just to see what the other drivers are doing, because in a split second he can lose control of that car and it's going to jump over. In that split second, it can hit you. So I'm always trying to pay attention. Hey, even when I'm coming into a stoplight, red or green, you know, when it's green, I still kind of slow it down and look both sides, just make sure that they stopped on the other side.
Absolutely.
Because they may not be paying attention. And you know, one of the other things that I've noticed is that when you're stopped at a stoplight, and you know, you got things running through your mind, and we all do, you know, if you're not paying attention to the lights, sometimes when you're in that straight line and then there's that turning line and that green arrow turns green, and for some reason you see the green, you think it's green, and you go. And it's not green for you to go, it's green for the turning lane to go. And that's how accidents, I've seen it myself, that's how it's happened. They say, no, it was green. Well, yeah, to turn, but not to go straight. So we have to pay attention to what the traffic devices are telling us to do.
One thing that I've seen, and I think that, and I see it in most streets, and we're obviously on Hillside, is people running a school bus when it's stopped, and they have the lights on and the stop signs out, and you'll see them pull over and they'll see them pass it, and you're like, and that's when you're saying, you know, where's that motorcycle cop where you need it? You know what I'm saying? And it happens left and right, and you see them going over and over until somebody's going, God forbid, you know.
You know,
don't want
at
nothing
my
to happen.
office, we give tickets for that.
You have to.
We give tickets for that. So does the sheriff's office, and so does the Laredo Police Department, and so does UISD. You know, unfortunately, when these things happen, and the people that we have stopped and have cited, they apologize and they go, we didn't see it. We didn't see the stop sign or the flashing light because they're not paying attention, you know. But what we have to understand, especially the families that have kids and do it, hey, you know, you would be upset if it was a car doing it and your son or daughter was getting off the bus. So what we're trying to say here is just all kids are very precious to us.
Of course.
Important.
Of course.
That's an important package that the buses are carrying, you know. So they're still developing and learning, and sometimes one may step out and you're like, whoa. There was one that came out on the news the other day, and I was watching it, where a mother was going to pick up her daughter, and the bus had the lights on and everything, and the daughter was exiting, and you know, there was car stopped, but there was 2 lanes going the opposite direction. Excuse me. And that girl was coming off, and right she was there, she was still slowing down. But then the mom was saying, okay, come. And she turned, she saw that car coming, knew that car wasn't going to stop, and she just yelled out, no, stop. And that car just went, boom, right through. If the mother was not there to yell at the little girl, the daughter, to stop, the daughter would have been hit by the car. And that's where we have to, you know, pay attention.
And the law's both ways.
Both ways.
So if it's stopped both ways, you have to stop.
You
You have to stop, period.
You know, our kids are our most precious, you know,
Absolutely.
commodity.
Absolutely.
And you know, there's no excuse and no reason for anybody to be passing a bus when it's stopped and letting out the kids come out. There's no excuse. I know that that sometimes we're running late. I know that sometimes we have to get to in a meeting that it's important, and if I don't get there, I'm gonna get fired. You have to make your schedule to get there on time. You have to, because I always try to plan when I'm leaving. I'll give you an example. When I'm leaving the house or the office, and even when I'm leaving out of town, that I have to be, sometimes I have to go to meetings at a time, I have to be at a meeting. I always tend to leave an hour to an hour, maybe 2 hours earlier. And they would say, well, we're gonna get there an hour earlier, what are we gonna do? I understand that, but it's better to get there an hour earlier than to go and say, well, if I leave at 1, I'll be there by 12. But you gotta account for flat tires, something going wrong with the vehicle, or sometimes there's an accident on the highway that we've all experienced, that the line gets so long, you're like, this. So you have to, make for situations that may occur that you have no control of to get there on time. And this is the same thing here with the buses and the people that are trying to get to work or wherever they're going. They need to get there within time.
Especially during school
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
During school.
I'm pretty sure that anybody out there does not want to be part or involved in any kind of accident that's going to watch out.
In full agreement.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Absolutely. What other news or what other new stuff do you have that the community can say, you know what, I feel safer too much?
Well, I mean, just the fact that you can see us out there, the fact that we're available to you. I don't want the community to feel like, well, no, they're working, don't go bother them. That's what we're there for. Don't ever feel that. Example, you can come into my office and complain about whatever you need to complain about, or there's a situation that you feel. And I've had it numerous of times. They come in and we try to go out there and resolve it. But just be more vigilant. Come out there, talk to us, let us know what's going on. If you don't let us know what's going on, it gets hard. I mean, I wish my office is so big. I wish I was bigger like the Laredo Police Department and the Webb County Sheriff's Office. And I had that amount of manpower. It'd be great. And what I say is that I try to take care of as many schools as I possibly can to help out in the community, and I just don't have enough deputies to take care of all of them. I know there's some that call and ask, and I just don't have the amount of resources to be able to do that. I wish I did. And sometimes when we get one place covered and it's good, and the UIC can help out and put one of their men over there, then we can divert around over here, and which we try to do that. I'll give you an example. Like United, they had a real big traffic problem going on in International because of the high school and the Freshman's campus that's over there. And then the four-way stop signs you have there, so it creates a bit of a backlog of vehicles going back over there. So they needed help, so I have a couple of deputies going out there to help and to get that traffic through there. And I know sometimes it gets long. Don't get mad at us. We're trying to push this traffic as fast as we can for y'all. Trust me, we don't want to be out there in the hot sun, directing traffic either, but we're trying to get that traffic to go through and just have a little bit of patience is what I ask the community out there. But, I ask the community if they have any problems or ideas or anything. Yeah, please don't hesitate. Come let us know.
I see you all, because I pick up my son over in the United, and you all are out there doing it. It's actually flowing.
Yeah.
It's flowing a lot better. So we thank you for doing it.
You know what's real fun? I want to tell you a funny story, because like a lot of people, hey, how come you're not at this? And hey, I go and I hop around and go check some of the areas, but my deputies, they're cool. I got the best crew out there. They're good people. They take care of the office real good. They're real good. And I get some of them. They don't want me there. They tell me, no, Constable, we got it covered. You don't need to be here. And one time I had a meeting and I said, guys, how come y'all don't let me be there with you guys? Are y'all embarrassing me or you don't like me? And they said, no, Constable, it's because every time you're there, everybody wants to stop and say hi to you, and you're holding up the traffic. We're trying to make it go through. And I said, okay, that's good enough for me that I understand.
It's funny, but it is true. It is true. Yeah. Well, number one, what would you like to tell the community?
Well, I'd like the community to know that the Office of Constable Precinct 4 is there for them. We're available to you whenever you need us. There's one other thing that I didn't get to mention. I'll mention to you guys right now is that You know, I try to help out the Laredo Police Department with their parks that they have there, because a couple of them fall within my precinct. You know, one being Central Park, you know, that's what we got. We bought a golf cart, and it says Constable Precinct 4 on there. It's got the lights and everything. We use that to go out. That was paid with forfeiture funds. You know, all the money that we get, that we have out, we seize, we pay that. No taxpayer money, we pay that with forfeiture funds. So we have that thing driving around the parks and available for people to stress their complaints or tell us what's going on. And you know, the other day we had an incident where an individual was feeling, you know, weak and tired and hot. Sure. It was so hot out there.
Of course.
So we were able to give the person a ride, and he was able to go and get water, which was good. And that's what we want to be out there for.
Absolutely.
And what we're trying to do now is put some we have coolers in there so we can have water, so anybody gets dehydrated and they need water, we have some available to them. And that's what we're trying to do. You know, we have Father McNaboe, we have the Central Park, and then we have the one on Bartlett. So we try to help out on those parks too. But you know, that's what we're doing for the community, and we want to be available for anybody that they feel they need us to help them out. We're there. We'll help them out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again.
Well, thank you, Paul, for having me. I really appreciate it.
And thank you for doing a good job, and keep on doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Folks, remember, no taxing and driving, and also let's be careful with the stop signs on the school buses.
Yes.
Very important.
Very important.
Very important. Again, until next time, peace.
Thank you.
For 30 years, Buitron Academy has produced great fighters, peace officers, firemen, and many great citizens of Laredo. We teach various martial arts, savate, kempo, capoeira, each in their own traditions, trajectory, history, and pedagogy. Buitron Academy is the first school of savate in the United States, the first capoeira movement in Texas, the first kempo school in Laredo. What will one expect to see at Buitron Academy? Respect, fellowship, coordination, skill, and self-defense. Buitron Academy is located at 220 West Hillside Road.
If you've ever wondered, if you ever had a clue what would happen if Batman, the Avengers, the X-Men fought the 47 Ronin, you will have great hitting, power strikes, and speed. This event will be known as the North Texas Stick Fighting Championships. It's open to all martial artists. This is where legends are formed, where they're forged, where they are founded. Sign up now. Call the number 956-401-4868 and look up the website at www.savate.biz. So remember, this is for serious martial artists. If you're not serious, sit back and whisper about the event. If not, we'll see you there. Gloves Off is always on point. Bringing you the best on current issues, community affairs, and the happenings around us. This segment of Gloves Off is brought to you by the best, so pay them a visit. Check them out. This is Gloves Off.